This is level J, list 8, and we're doing the day 1. So we've got, in these words, we're looking at where the letter C says S. And you'll notice that when a C is followed by an E, an I, or a Y, it makes the C make its soft sound S. If a C is followed by an A, O, U, L, or R, it says its hard sound K. So all of these words have the soft sound, so let's go through and identify the C in all of these words. You can colour it one colour. We're not doing that one because that's making its hard sound. We're only doing the soft sound where we're getting the S. Only colouring the soft S in all of these words. And let's go back and then colour in the letter that comes after that S, where we're using the letter C for the soft sound. So the C-I, 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 C-E, E, C-E, 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 C-Y. So whenever we see C-I, C-E or C-Y in a word, we know we're going to say S. Now we've put some other C's in these words so that you can see that it's only when a C is followed by those letters that we would say S. So have a look at these other ones. So when we have C followed by a U, C followed by an L, C followed by an O, or an A, no, or an L, we know that's saying K. The C is saying K in all of those words. K. It's making its hard sound K. So hopefully that will make it easier for you, because once you recognise that, that's about 15,000 words that you're not going to have to learn. We've done it very gradually so that hopefully you get it. Now have a look at, there's other things in these words too. We know that if we have a stop consonant before ul, stop means it stops as soon as you say it. So when we say k, k, it stops straight away. So when we have a stop consonant before ul, we use le. Now these two words here, I've told you before that there are only about 10 words in English that we commonly use that end with il. And these are two of them that we've put in here, pencil and council. So you have to really remember which of the words end in il that don't finish, that don't follow this English rule of after a stop or a continuing consonant. It tells us which way to spell the ul. So the pencil, council, fossil, tonsil, it's about 10 words that we commonly use. Now here we've got the, as well as that, we've got the ow sound in council, we've got the sound in circle and circus. In voice we've got the oi sound, we're using the oi because we wouldn't use oy because we don't really like y's in the middle of a word or in the middle of a syllable. So cancer, princess, so this syllable has a short sound, so we're going to have that double S on the end. We've got the long E sound made with the EA here. Because that's a long sound, we only put one L after it. In centipede, if you look at what this prefix means, cent means 100 and pede means leg, so that would mean an animal with about 100 legs. So we've got the E making that E make a long sound, and we've got that little it sound in the middle, centipede. So it's a creature with about 100 legs. So we have century, which means 100 years, or if you play cricket, you've got, if you make a century, you make 100 runs. So cent means 100, 100 cents in a dollar coin too. Cyclone, we've got the E making the O make the previous, make it its long sound here. So now we've had a look at all the many things that are included in this list of words. It's not an easy list to get through, but there's a lot of really good knowledge in it for you. Lots of good teaching tips in there for you. What do these words mean? Well, a circus is somewhere you may go with your family to see performers. It could be human or animal performers, and they're usually doing lots of tricks and stunts. A circle is a shape, it's round. A pencil is a tool that we write with, quite commonly in schools. Council is a group of people that get together with a common purpose. So you might have a school council or a student council where students get together to help make decisions within the school. The voice is the sound that you make when you speak or you sing, when you open your mouth and a noise comes out. Cancer is a disease that some people may get. Princess is the female child of a king or queen, and usually the male is called a prince. A cereal is a food that we eat for breakfast. It's usually made from grains. Centipede, as we've discussed, is a creature with 100 legs, a centipede. And cyclone is when you have extreme weather. So you might have a lot of wind and a lot of rain. And you usually live in an area where there are a lot of cyclones, and so your house and the buildings will be cyclone proof to make them safer, so that when the big winds come through, things don't blow around as much. Okay, so let's look at reading, sounding, spelling and writing these words. Because these words, most of them have more than one syllable, we'll break them into syllables. So we'll go circus, 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 circus. C-I-R-C-U-S, C-I-R-C-U-S, C-I-R-C-U-S. Cover it and write it 3 times. You can finish the rest of that on your own. This is level J, list 8, and we're doing the day 2 page. And in this set of words, we're looking at when the letter C makes its soft sound. S. So we know already that a C followed by an A-O-U-L-R will make the C make its hard sound K. But when a C is followed by an E, I or Y, it's making its soft sound S. So let's just put that up for you. S. Okay, so have a look at these words, get your highlighter ready. And we've got C-I, 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 we're highlighting, C-E, 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 and C-Y. So you know, because the C is followed by an I, E, or a Y in those words, it's making its soft sound S. Now get another colour out, and this time we're going to go through and look at where the C is saying its hard sound K. So I've got circus, so I've got the C followed by U, so that makes the C say its hard sound K. The C is followed by an L, there's not another C is followed by an O, C is followed by an A, and C is followed by an L. Now we do have some other things to revise in this list too, so pull out another colour and let's have a look at what else we've got. So in circus we've got the R controlled vowel, IR, making the sound, and we've got that in circle as well. Pencil, we're going to split that there, and we're going to split circle so that the C sticks to the LE at the end of a word. Circus. Because IR is a long vowel sound, any R controlled vowel is a long vowel sound, we know we're going to split that syllable after the long vowel sound, and it will be an open syllable. Now let's go up to council. So I've got council, we're going to split it there, and we've got that long owl sound there, OU for the owl sound voice. We've got the OI. So we use OI in the middle of a word only because we can't put it on the end of a word, as English words never end with an I. So if we want the OI sound at the end of a word or a syllable, we use OY. Cancer, we'd split it there. Princess, we've got no other things in there. We've got the long cereal, so So we've got an extra syllable in there, cereal. So that's a long vowel sound that E is making. Centipede, so you've got the base word cent there, and you've got this E on the end making the previous E make its long sound. Same with cyclone, that E is coming back to make that previous vowel long. So you know a circus is somewhere where we go to see a show in a large tent. A circle is a round shape. A pencil is a tool that we write with. A council is a group of people who represent a group. So you might have a school council, and those people would represent the school. Our voice is the sound that comes from our mouth. Cancer is a disease. Princess is often the daughter of a king and queen. Cereal is a food you may eat for breakfast. It's made from grains. And a centipede is a little insect that has close to 100 legs. It can have a lot more or a lot less than 100 legs, but centi means 100, so it's sort of approximately 100 legs. Pede means feet. Cyclone is a big wind or storm that comes in the summer months, and it can cause a lot of damage. So you have to finish the words here, fill in the missing word for the meanings here, and down the bottom you're going to fill in the gap with the missing list word. Write the correct word in the sentence. Now we've got two words here that sound similar, not quite the same. Cancel means to put something off. You might have to cancel going to the dentist for another time. A council is a group that represents others. Let's go back and read the word, sound the word and spell the word. So get your little bit of paper ready to cover. And we'll go. We're going to break these words into syllables because they all have more than one syllable, except for voice. You can sound that out as 1, 2, 3 sounds, 5 letters. So let's do circus, us or circus, circus, and then check to make sure it's right. If you make a mistake anywhere on the page, remember to rub it out and write it again correctly. This is level J, list 8, and we're looking at the day 3 page. So our words this round are circus, circle, pencil, council, voice, cancer, princess, cereal, centipede, cyclone. So if you have a look at those words, you can see that the C, if it's followed by an E, an I or a Y, it's making it soft sound. So let's highlight the letter that comes after the C to make it say S. It's not every C here, so be careful you get the right one. So circus, it's where you hear that sound. You've got an I following the C. Here you've got an I following the C, and here you're changing it. It's an E following the C, E, 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 and a Y. So we know that when we have an E, an I, or a Y after a C, it's going to say S. And we like to use this as the sound at the end of a word. You'll see it quite frequently at the end of a word where they use the CE. That's because when we use SE at the end of a word, quite often it will say the Z sound. Now, we also have the C here where it's making its K sound. So when we have a C followed by an A, O, U, L or R, we know it's going to make the C say K. So let's highlight the C saying K in these words. We've got circus, circle, council, cancer, and cyclone. So there are quite a few C's where it's making its hard sound K. And if we look, we can see that after this C we've got a U, an L, an O, an A, or an L. So they're those ones down there. Now, let's see what we can do to these words. We can add other parts to them to make longer words. So we can have voiceless. So if you join those two parts together, take away the cross, don't leave any spaces between the parts of the words, you'll have the word voiceless, means without a voice. Circuses will be the plural form. Cancerous, cereals, circ. Now you're going to take away the LE and add ULAR, circular, and counsel or. So you're going to add the LOR at the end. Down here we've got verb families. Oh, here, by the way, you have to write a sentence with each of those words as well. Down here we've got verb families, so you've got to look for the base word. Here you're adding the S. Here, now if the word ends with an E, you're going to take the E away when you add the ing. So circling, voicing, you're voicing your opinion. So the E would go away before you add the ing on these two. And then here, when you're adding the ED to the end, if the word already ends in an E, like voice does too, you only have to add the D. You don't have to add the ED. Now down the bottom it says fill in the gaps with a list word or extension. Scientists are testing cures for many common, and you can work out the missing word there. You can do the rest of those on your own. This is level J, list 8, and we're doing the day 4, and we're revising the hard and soft C and G sound. So you know that a C will say K, it's hard sound, if it's followed by an A, O, U, L, R. And a G will say its hard sound if it's followed by an A, O, U, L, R. Now when a C is followed by an E, an I or a Y, it's going to say S. And when a G is followed by an E, I or Y, it's going to say J. So if you can remember the 5 letters that follow a C or a G to make its hard sound, and you can follow remember the 3 letters that follow a C and a G to make their soft sounds, that's about 50,000 words that you won't have to learn. So let's have a look at what it says over here. We created this little cheat for you to remember that if a C is followed by an A, O, U, L, R, that you use a C. And so we've hidden a C inside. Let's mark that for you so you can see it. We've hidden a C inside an A C inside an O, a U. You can see a C hidden in there and a C hidden in there. So that might help you as a little visual association to remember the A, O, U, L, R will make the C say it's hard sound K, and then that might help you to remember the G application too. So here it says hard, you need 4 different colours for this. So let's make one colour here. I'm using blue. Hard C says K if the letters after it are an A, O, U, L, R. So you have to come down here and you've got to find where the letter C is making its hard K sound. And look, there's one there, and it's followed by, the C is followed by an A. So it's the letter that comes after a C or a G that tells us whether it's making its hard or its soft sound when we're reading it. But when we're writing it, you've got to know that if the letter is followed by, if the C or the G is followed by an A, O, U, L, R or an E, I, Y, which one that you're using a C or a G for that sound. Now here we've got, so we've done the C says K, we've made them blue. Let's go to another colour, orange. So when the C says S, you know it's going to be followed by an E, I or Y. So C says S. Let's see if we can find a C followed by that. There we are, we've got circle. Let's have a look at the next one. Hard G says G when it's followed by an A, O, U, L, R. Hard G, there's one there. So we'll be writing it there. And soft G says J. Now one of the reasons that soft G says J is because we can't have English words end in a J. So you'll quite often see GE at the end of a word because of that. So let's see, oh here we are, we've got Jim, G-Y, there. Now once you've highlighted all of those words there, you can go back and start writing the words in. So you'd write the blue words under the blue heading that you've made. You can finish off those. There should be 4 of each one, of each type. Now down the bottom we've got to colour the picture using the key. So if you see a C making its S sound, you're going to colour those words, all that space in there, all of this space here would be green within that. Now the next one says, when you see a C saying kurt, making its kurt sound, you're going to make all of that space brown. So that will be one there for you. So there'll be lots of them. Okay, the G making its hard gut sound, we're going to make all that space grey. So there's one there, there's a word that would be a grey space, you'd have to colour it. I wouldn't highlight these because it would confuse you. I'm just doing it to show you what to do. Now when G says J, that's going to be pink. So there's one there, Jim. And when we can also have a K making a kut sound. So if we have K, E, I or Y, you know it's making its kut sound. So that's how we know to use the K there for kettle. And where S is saying S, we're going to use the green for that one. So see if you can find a word starting with S. There we go, for the sound. Okay, so you can finish off all of that colouring on your own. There's a little tip and trick here, an alert. Check the letter after the C and G, because that's going to tell you the sound that it's making, those letters are making.